Hello my loves, I'm Shah and welcome to I Would Love Your Spiritual Safe Haven. In today's video we are looking at letters from your future spouse. Okay, I will introduce you to your three groups. I will not read these letters until we get into the individual group readings, just so it's not the letters that you choose your group off of, if that makes sense. So group 1, group 2 and group 3. Okay, I will now give you a moment to really focus, meditate, do whatever you have to do in order to choose the group or groups that you feel most called to. You can definitely feel called to more than one group. You never know where you'll find your messages or the messages that are meant for you. Before I leave you, I would like to remind you all that this is a collective reading. The messages found here are not going to be for everyone, and nor should they. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and don't force anything if it doesn't fit. Okay. Hello my group 1, if you are here it means you've chosen the first letter, this beautiful brown paper. Okay, if I pull your cards, I will read this letter. It's a very short letter, but I will read this and then we'll pull cards for more insight into who this person is, what your relationship will be like, how you'll meet, those kind of things. So let's look at it. Okay, group 1, I just addressed all of them to the groups because I did write this much earlier in the day and I wouldn't want to get everything mixed up. Group 1, I never know what to say to you when it matters most. I can show you that I love you, but to write out the ins and outs of this love, that's what eludes me. You've always been the only one for me and you always will be, even when I try to pretend otherwise and try to focus my attention elsewhere. I couldn't escape you. And then I scratched out this because it was a start of a sentence that went nowhere and you could feel his hesitation or their hesitation. So scratched out, be patient with me. I never was the best with words, full stop, and a small heart. So I did note the energy that came through. Should I put this here? The energy that came through while I was channeling this letter, and I made some notes in my notebook. I wrote stoic, harder to get message out, guarded, as if scared of vulnerability, but willing to try. And the song that I channeled for you guys was 2 by GOT7. Beautiful song. And the whole time I just kept thinking the line from 2 by GOT7, you're the only one I need. And that energy really came through in this letter. I don't know how long you two have been married. It doesn't seem like it's a marriage that's starved of love, starved of affection, but rather that it's easier for your future spouse to show this love and affection than it is to say this love and affection or to vocalize this love and affection, especially when it comes to them talking to a past version of you, a version of you that they may currently be in no contact with, or a version of you that they're still very self-conscious around because of the decisions they made at this time or the mistakes they may have made. But we will get more insight into this when I actually pull your cards. And usually I do shuffle and pull ahead of time, but it completely slipped my mind today, so we'll shuffle live. Tell me about my group 1's future spouse, please. Okay. I'm using the Elevate Tarot cards. I just got these yesterday or the day before. Was it yesterday? No, it was the day before. It was on Tuesday. Tell me about my group one's future spouse. Okay. Also, as with most of my decks, when I get them new, I don't do anything to purposefully make reversals. So the reversals that come out happened incidentally, happened in some way, so I'll take it as it is. And that's not to say that I don't read reversals. I do read reversals. I find them to be an integral part of how I get my messages across. But when it comes to new decks, especially with the decks I've gotten recently, I don't go out of my way to shuffle my decks in any way that there are reversals. And maybe I will in the future, but since I've only had this deck for like a day or two, that's not something that I'm really, how do I say this, not something that I really find any importance in doing. So this reversal coming out kind of just makes it feel like it's meant to come out. You're meant to have this reversal. Okay, well, what do we have? We have the Page of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the 9 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands reversed. When we look at Wands, we're also seeing a lot of fiery, fast-moving energy. So one or both of you may have very prominent fire placements. This may also be a connection that's moved very quickly, especially when we look at the letter. It may be that, how do I say this, as if you rushed into this connection, and because of the rushing, it kind of fell apart. So maybe as things stand right now, the two of you, like in the span of a few months, became really close and had this really intense relationship. And because of that intensity, everything fell apart. And now you two are trying to find a way to reconcile and to come to a place where, or to the place where you were before everything fell apart or was ruined, or even to come to a place where you can be in the same room again. Also, I'm noticing the glare, so let me fix that really quickly, or try to, because I'm always struggling with glare. So I couldn't get rid of it because the only way there wasn't any glare was to remove the light completely, and I couldn't do that. So I did move it a bit. It looks a bit smaller. I hope it's not too obtrusive. I know many people listen to my videos. They don't just watch my videos. So yeah, I hope that's okay. Anyway, so with the Page of Wands, also with all of these cards, we have keywords. And I've never had a tarot deck with keywords before. I've seen a lot of people have them. I didn't want one because I feel like that messes with the channeling too much. But I'm glad I picked this up because this deck is just so cute, guys. Like, it's just such a sweet deck, and I love the messages on them. So what do we have here? Page of Wands, young woman to 25 years, travel overland. 10 of Wands, weighed down with problems, very heavy load. Knight of Swords, young man to 25 years, speedy situation or finish. There again, that energy of very fast moving. The very fast moving energy comes through as if maybe in the span of a year, you met this person, you became friends, you fell in love, you confessed to each other, you dated, and then it all went to shit, something like that. It doesn't have to be that exact timeline. You could have been rejected, or you could have rejected them, and now there's this uneasiness about where you lay with each other, where do you stand with each other, what's actually going on. You could have admired them from afar, or they could have admired you from afar and never had the word. Like we read in the letter, they're not good with words, and so they could feel as if, like, even in the future when you are together, they're still hounded by regret, because in their heart they know that if they had just been braver, then you could have been together earlier. You wouldn't have had to wait so long to be together and have this happy future. And I feel like that's something they really regret. With many of you, also between these two cards, and I'm seeing one of you is the Page of Wands, one of you is the Knight of Swords, and we have this 10 of Wands between you two. And I feel like the both of you are very in your head about the situation, and you also think that it's only you who's overthinking the situation or this relationship, this connection, whatever you want to call it. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, if only I hadn't done XYZ, and I'd done XYZ, and I'd been like this, and I'd been like that, and now it's just too late. And in their mind, they're thinking the same thing, and you're both thinking that you're the only one who's still invested in this connection, or who still wants it to be a future for you two. And so you're carrying this heavy burden, the both of you are, but you don't realize this. You're thinking, well, I should just put my attention on everything else besides this connection. And over time, it becomes natural for you to do so. It becomes natural for you to put this connection in the past. It becomes natural for you to not think so much about this connection and what could have been, because you also realize that that's, in a way, a waste of your energy, and you don't want to run after someone who doesn't want you or doesn't want you anymore. And this person is thinking the same thing. They're looking at you. And it's also interesting because these are two very fast moving animals. We have, is this a cheetah? A cheetah and an eagle, and they're very fast moving animals. And so yes, this connection was speed run, but this moving on from it was also really speed run. And you're both thinking that, well, we should just put this in the past, put this behind me, because you feel as if there's no future with it. And because you both feel that there's no future with this relationship, you both also think that the best response is to just move on as fast as possible, instead of sitting and, what's the word, like, okay, so you're both thinking that it's best to just move on, move forward, focus on other things, instead of sitting and wallowing and overthinking this connection and wishing it could have been different. Because in your hearts, or as you're both perceiving the situation now, thinking that you're each the only ones still wishing that this connection could be different, you think that holding on to it is just going to cause more pain, that holding on to it is just a sign of stupidity, of idiocy, when this other person is not as connected to it anymore. Okay, I got cut off, so I completely lost track of what I was saying, but you each think you're the only one who is missing this connection, and so you try to let go of this connection. Yeah, okay. What I was saying was, or what I intended to start saying was, and just because I'm telling you that, especially, okay, so what I wanted to say was that, especially for those of you who already may have an idea of who this person is, I don't want this to be your confirmation that you need to hold on tighter to them, that you need to not let go, that you need to, like, fight for this connection. That's not what I'm saying, and that's not what you have to do. Rather, trust that letting go of this connection is what is going to be best for this connection. Because especially if you already know who this is or have an idea of who this is, then we know that down the line 9, 10 years from now, you two are going to be together, you're going to be married, you're going to have this relationship you've always wanted, but that may not necessarily happen if you're holding on so tightly to them and to their energy that you don't let yourself experience the things that you need to experience in life, that you don't let yourself experience the things that you need to experience in life in order for the two of you to find each other again, and to find each other as new people, untethered to what happened, and how it happened. You need to go out and live your life. And I think that's so important again, because in the Page of Wands card rather, one of the things is travel overland. And so one of the things that may be very important for you in this journey is, even if you're not traveling abroad, but you're just traveling, you're moving, you're going on holidays, you're leaving your hometown, you're leaving your home more, you're not keeping yourself so tethered to one place. And that's going to be very important for you, for the both of you, in fact, to really experience these things outside of your bubbles, in order for you to meet each other as the people you're meant to meet each other as again. Because right now, and even here, I'm just noticing in the Nine of Wands, undecided, need to take a step out of the situation, then you will see it more clearly. Right now, as things are, the two of you may not be in alignment. You may care for each other, love each other deeply, but you're on two different paths. You're focused on one thing, they're focused on one thing. You're separated by values, by distance, by so many things, that if you try to build a relationship right now, it may not work, or it may be harder to make it work in a way that's only going to put strain on this connection and not make it stronger, as it may for other people and other connections. And so what you two need right now is to step away from this connection, to let go of it, as you may already be letting go of it, as they may already be letting go of it, to make yourself the main priority in your life, as you both may already be doing, so that when you meet again, it's not all this rush, stress, pain, misery, confusion. You know what you want, they know what they want, and you're able to meet each other as, I don't want to say equals, I feel like you were always equals, but you're able to meet each other as not even new people, but you're able to just meet each other on a clean slate with a fresh start. And isn't that a blessing to have? And we see that again. I was just about to start going into the relationship itself, and then I noticed the Nine of Pentacles, keyword peace of mind, contentment. And then with the Seven of Wands in reverse, we're seeing frustration. You are able to overcome your frustration. You are on top of the situation. And even though it comes out in reverse, it's a similar energy of finally overcoming that difficulty and finding peace. And that's what this relationship is going to bring you. It's going to bring you a lot of peace of mind, a lot of contentment. When you two finally are together and are able to be together in this way that you've both always wanted, it's going to be as if the difficulty was worth it. And now, because both of you know what it's like to be separated, to be away from each other, to be apart in this really life-changing way, you're going to fight harder to keep each other around, and not in a possessive way, but in a committed way, in a way that's both of you understanding that you want this to work, and so you'll do everything in your power to make it work. I also feel as if with the time apart from each other, the time that really gives you the chance to date other people, see other people, have other opportunities, then you're not going to be each other's big fuss. And that's what your relationship needs. It's not going to work, or it may not work, if this person is your first love, or you're their first time, or if everything relies on you being each other's big fuss. When you can come together again after this long separation, you're coming together as people who have experienced life, experienced the world, had all of these big mental and emotional changes. And so your stability, your mental stability, financial stability, all of these things don't just rely on what the other person brings to the table. Does that make sense? I feel like it does. I never know. But yeah, that is generally your relationship with this person. Let me pull more cards for physical appearance. Oh, I'm looking at the deck and I just noticed the Hierophant. And that's such a beautiful card as well. And it says marriage, government or public company, body corporate, official building, or official situation. And so this is also one of the only cards that came out that has more browns and pinks. Isn't that pretty? And so yes, marriage is a given. It's a given. This commitment, whatever commitment it is between the two of you, it is a given. But it's not going to be something that happens tomorrow. The separation, this distance between you two is so important, because that's what's going to make this relationship work, this marriage work. And especially because, again, we look at this letter and we see this person who struggles with vulnerability. That's also something that in the separation they've had to deal with. And when the two of you reconcile, it's something that they've done a lot of work on, a lot of work healing. So whereas now, where you guys are at the moment, where the two of you are at the moment, they can't bring themselves to look at you and tell you they have feelings for you. And you can't bring yourself to try again, to reach out to them, to take the risk. And both of you have these burdens of, whatever these burdens are on your mind, these things that you can and can't do, whether these things are completely normal to do and not do. And so with the time apart, it's also going to give the two of you that strength to really stand up for yourself when it comes to the things that you love, and when it comes to reaching out, and asking openly and unashamedly for love. And that's hard to do. That's very hard to do. But I think it's important for you to be separated from each other in order to learn how to do that. Okay. Anything else about my group one's future spouse? Also with the songs that I channeled, there may be like a 2-3 year age difference between you guys. Any direction. You could be older, they could be older, 2 months even, 2 weeks, but definitely some kind of age difference. What is my group one's future spouse's zodiac sign, their star sign? Death. So we have a Scorpio. And this is also the only card coming out to match the Knight of Swords. So this is likely the card that's most representing your partner, while, as I thought earlier, you are this Page of Wands person. You're embarking on a new journey. You're trying something new. You're going forward, really embracing your dreams. And a lot of that has to do with travel. You may be planning to move abroad, to a new city. In fact, this move could be what brings you closer to this future spouse. With the Knight of Swords, we're seeing this person, your future spouse, is really on track to completing something, completing a program, completing university, completing a degree, completing an internship, completing something, completing a project, completing writing a book, something. They're completing something and their main focus is on that thing. And when they think of this connection, they think of you, it's always as something that it brings them joy for a moment, and then it brings them pain, and because of the pain they just push away the thought of it, and they focus all of their attention on this task that they're completing. Actually, let me clean up the rest of the card so it doesn't look so cluttered. 1 second. Okay, so my group 1's future spouses zodiac sign. My group 1's future spouses zodiac sign, please. Anything else about my group 1's future spouse, please? Okay. Anything else about my group 1's future spouse, please? Anything extra? Sorry. Okay, so for the first 3, the zodiac signs, we're looking at Death, which is Scorpio, Queen of Wands, which is Leo, and Page of Cups, which water sign again, Cancer or Pisces. I think it's Pisces. And for other extra information, we have Knight of Pentacles, young man to 25 years, visitor, message to share, 4 of Swords, sickness, bed illness, needing to take time out, rest and relaxation is needed here. Also with Death, it would be remiss of me to ignore the fact that we're looking at new beginnings and transformation, and that's kind of such an important part of your reading thus far. This idea that you need time to be apart from each other, to change and grow into, I don't want to say better people, but into better versions of yourself, into versions of yourself that have done the work, that have put in the effort, that are not so limited in your belief, not so demanding of your expectations, who are realistic, who can love each other the way the two of you need to be loved. Short journey, movement to or near water. So yeah, there's a lot of like traveling energy coming out for you guys. So you may be moving closer to your spouse, they may be moving closer to you, or you may just move together somewhere near water. You may move to like a harbor town, you may move to a beach town near the shore. Sickness, bed illness, needing to rest. 4 of Swords, it's usually a lot of rest. 4 of Swords, we usually just see rest after a lot of, like after a long period of frustration, after a long battle, after you do a lot of this work, put in a lot of this effort. This person could have issues with their health, or you could have issues with your health, and that may also be something that you two, or why you two couldn't be together now, because that's not something either of you could really deal with as you are, and that's not a bad thing. We all have, how do I say this, like everybody has a limit to how much responsibility they can carry, and that doesn't make you a bad person. And right now, even it may be that this person isn't ready to confide in another person about this illness. They're not ready to let another person care for them in this way. And as when you two meet again when you're older, and that's where the vulnerability starts to show, where now, because of whatever's happened, because of the time apart, because of just being older, now they're ready to really trust someone to be that person for them, they can trust someone to look after them in that way. And now, because of the time apart and growing older and all of that, you're also ready to be someone who can be depended on by another person. Young man to 25 years, short journey. I really feel like you're traveling. Like, I feel like you are moving somewhere soon, and that's going to bring you closer to this person, whether on purpose or inadvertently. And if you're moving somewhere on purpose just to be closer to this person, like you're following them to a new town, then I would suggest you don't, because then that's going to just be, honestly, it's just going to be really creepy, and you wouldn't want to creep out someone that you care about this much and who, as things are aligning now, may very well be your future spouse. And so don't. If you're doing this just because you want to be close to them, because you need to be close to them for whatever reason, don't. But if you're moving because this is what your passion or what your heart is telling you to do, because you have a love for this place you're moving to, then, you know, more power to you. That's something that's really beautiful and going to bring you a lot of joy, a lot of prosperity. In this connection with this person, what else can we look at for more insight about this person? Initials WCP. They could have 4 letters in their first name, 13 letters in their last name. Are there 13-letter last names? Well, they could have 13 letters in their last name. They could, with 2, I'm assuming there could be one of 2 children. What else? And obviously we have Scorpio, Leo. What was it, that one? Pisces, Cancer or Pisces. Actually, don't remember what the Page of Cups is. Is it a Cancer or Pisces? I know I said Pisces earlier, but I may be wrong. No, I think I'm right. I'm just going to say Pisces. Confidence. Around 25 years old. May be sick, or you may be sick. They live near water, or they plan to move near water. What else? I noticed the moon, so they might have a night chart. They may have been born at night. What else? And now, do you know what song just came to mind? Because I was looking at this cat and I was like, it just gives me such strong Egyptian imagery. And so I'm thinking of that song, Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bengals. Is it by the Bengals? Maybe wrong. But that song, so they may like a lot of older music. They may just be more mature. Even if you two are the same age, they may come across as being older and more mature than you. What else? A lot of purple. They may be bisexual. They may be non-binary. Okay. I can't really think of anything else or any other ways to identify this person. I do believe that you'll meet each other. Oh no, the candle just went out. I have to relight it. But I do believe that you'll meet each other when the time is right, or meet each other again, because I do feel like this is a connection in which 2 people are going to reconcile and reconnect in some way. Also with the 4 and 2, this reconciliation could be 2 to 4 months from now, 2 to 4 years from now. We also saw 10, 9, and 7 in the beginning of the reading. So you may, or one of you may be very adverse to marrying for a while. So you may date or be in this relationship, committed relationship, for about like 7, 9 years by the choice of both of you, as you try to just really live your lives without that commitment of the word marriage. Even though you both love each other and are committed to each other, you don't want to have the word marriage hanging over your head so soon, especially as you're so young. Or even if you're not so young, you just don't want that hanging over your head. But yeah, so am I missing out anything? Is anything else for me to pick up? No, I don't think so. But also now I'm noticing, because of the 2 of Wands with the short journey and the 4 of Swords with the rest and realization, you may also just be taking a lot of vacations together, holidays together, spending a lot of time just in each other's company. And that may also be a very big reason why you're not meeting now or not being together now, and you're only going to be together like down the line in a few years, because right now you can't like provide that financial stability. I think I mentioned this earlier, that the other needs, you can't take each other out, you can't spoil each other like that, which you can do in a few years. Okay, I am going to close your reading here. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can find the links to do so down below. You can also find the links to leave me a tip down below. And while you're there, check out my social media. I'm on Twitter and Tumblr at Tarot with Love. Alright, bye. Hello, my group 2. If you are here, it means you've chosen the second letter, this little green letter. Let's read it before we pull and look at your tarot cards. Okay, group 2, and I just numbered and I just addressed them all to the groups because I wrote them like super early in the day and I didn't want to get them mixed up. Group 2. I don't think I knew what it meant to be alive before I met you. I was satisfied doing the same things every day and waiting for a distant someday to do all that my heart desired. Until I met you. Meeting you was like everything at once. It was like a hole I didn't even know existed before was filled. Like a question I didn't even know I was asking was answered. And as you can see, there's a lot of areas at the bottom. I started writing really fast, started really rushing. And I actually also made a note of it in my notebook of the energy I was getting while I was writing this. And I wrote, light, fun, rushed, has a lot to say and thoughts try to overlap, more mistakes while writing. So it was, a lot was coming through at the end as I started to gain momentum, but by that time I was running out of space in my letter. As you can see, it's a very short letter. So they just, I feel like people say golden retriever energy and it's a bit overused, but that's the energy I'm getting, you know, like very light, very fun, kind of excitable, very easily excitable. That's the energy I'm getting. Also, the song that I channeled while writing your letter was Trevi Fountain by Vardhan Aurora. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's also this song about meeting someone or having this experience that makes you feel alive, makes you feel as if you're not just living or you're not just surviving, you're actually living. And that's the energy that you bring into your future spouse's life. So I usually pull and shuffle beforehand, but I didn't this time around, so I'll be shuffling live. I'm also only using tarot cards today. I thought I would use tarot and oracle as usual, but the first group ended up being about 50 minutes before editing, but about 50 minutes just with tarot, so I won't be using oracle cards. But yes, where was I? Tell me about my group 2's future spouse, please. Okay, the Chariot. I also feel as if this isn't someone you've met yet, just because of the energy that came through, the way they were speaking about you. I just feel like you haven't met this person yet. And now I'm thinking about that song, Never Really Felt Alive Before, Always Lived in My Head. It's a Florence and the Machine song. Is it Girls Against God? No. Well, I'll link it down in the description box below. I always do that. Whenever I mention a song or anything, you can always find it linked in the description box or even just named in the description box. A lot of threes. You could be meeting this person in about 3 years. You could have a 3-year age gap between the two of you. Also, I'm getting that like you could be like a third, or they could be a third in your relationship, like something polyamorous, polygamous, polyandrous. The Star. Okay. Alright. So you and your future spouse. I find it so interesting that the messages came through so much clearer in group 1, when group 1's future spouse was so closed off. It's like they had a very deep inner world and a very strong connection to the spiritual world, which I wish occurred to me while I was actually doing group 1. But anyway, with you guys, it's like, it's so easy for me to tap into the surface level personality of this person, to say they're lighthearted and fun like a golden retriever, they're so excitable, energetic, all of these things. But when it actually comes time for me to sit here and give you a message, it's like, I don't want to say it's nothing, but it's like this message is just eluding me. It's like, it's as if this person has, as if they're very good at putting on a persona, putting on a facade, this facade of being, how do I say this, like larger than life. They know how to attract everybody's attention. They know how to make themselves the center of the universe. But when it actually comes to cultivating a strong inner world, to cultivating a spiritual practice, or even just a connection with themselves, that's where they just can't do it, or they don't know how, or they don't feel like they have the time to cultivate it because they're so busy with other things. And I'm also now just noticing the 7 and 17, and it may be that they've, from a young age, had to bear a lot of responsibility, and because of this, now as they get older, in an attempt to reclaim some part of themselves, they put on this facade of maybe being a bit ditzy, maybe being less intelligent than they are, less aware than they are, less serious than they are. Because when they're away from people and it's just them and their thoughts, they don't know how to cope with just being them and their thoughts. Or rather, because their thoughts are so deep and so complex, and they're so much more mature than the people around them, they find it easier to just put on this facade of being the jokester instead of being the person who's always going to drag other people down. And not even just a jokester, of just being someone who is easygoing and lighthearted and always goes with the flow. And that may also be where you come in, because with you, it's like, for once, they don't have to pretend. They don't have to pretend to be happy. They don't have to pretend to be laughing. They don't have to pretend to be funny. They don't have to pretend to be all of those things. They can just be themselves with you. And because they can just be themselves with you, these things come naturally. And so you're not seeing the facade. They don't have to show you the version of themselves that makes people love them. They can just show you them. They can just be who they are, who they've always been. They don't have to be somebody else. And that's like the big reason why, what was the wording in the letter, that they didn't even know that there was something missing in their life, because to them this was just their life. They didn't even know, like, now I'm thinking of the Carly Rae Jepsen song, that first one that got really popular, Call Me Maybe, that line where she is like, before you came into my life, I missed you so bad. And it's like that. They were always missing something, but they didn't know what. They didn't even know they were missing something. And then they met you, and suddenly everything made sense. Suddenly there was color in their world. There was a fire burning under them. They had passion. They wanted to experience the beauty of life, because you brought that love for life into their life. And that's amazing. That's absolutely, absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. And with this person, I feel as if they've also, like I said, because they're always putting on this facade, and from a young age they may have had a lot of responsibility placed upon their shoulders, And so when it comes to actually living their life as they want to live their life, they don't really know how, because they don't even know they don't even know what they want. And that's something that's coming through very strongly, like a theme that's just being repeated over and over and over. It's that they don't know. I feel like they don't know themselves very well, and it's likely because of how much faster they've had to grow up than their peers. And because they've had to grow up so much faster, they find that it's so much easier to just put on this facade so that their peers and them are on the same level, you know? Because it's not fun to be the most self-aware, the most mature, the most existential, the most whatever it is, you know, especially as a young person, especially as a teenager. Oh my gosh. So they have to put on this facade. They have to put on this facade. And again, like, once they're with you, they don't have to anymore, and they can breathe that sigh of relief. I also completely forgot to read the keywords on the cards. I'll do that now. I got this deck like 2 days ago, and I've never had one with keywords before, and I didn't even know this deck had keywords. But I'm so glad I got it, because it's such a sweet deck. It's absolutely such a sweet deck. So the first one, the Chariot, movement of residence, journey, victory over a situation or problem, balancing opposite polarities. 3 of Cups, celebration, bright beginnings. 3 of Swords, deception, frustration, jealousy, broken heart. The Star, brightness, hope, could bring excesses, so be grateful. So be careful, rather, not to become too greedy. Queen of Cups, woman over 25 years, blue eyes, fair or brown hair, soft, gentle, motherly. 6 of Wands, letter of news coming, victory news. So with this person, because I'm looking at the Star again, and it's this line where it says could bring excesses, so be careful not to become too greedy. That really stood out to me, because especially if you're the first person who really made your future spouse feel loved, seen, cared for, understood, it could be natural for them in a way to become possessive over you, to cling to you. Not possessive, I don't want to say possessive, but to cling to you out of fear that they'll never have this chance with another person, and out of fear that they'll ruin this relationship. And because they're so afraid to lose this relationship, they'll cling to you in a way that they don't even realize may inadvertently just chase you further away, or chase you away further, like do the complete opposite of what they wanted to do. And also I'm looking at the 3 of Swords, and it all ties back in. So this person may have lost someone at a young age, like their parents or another family member, a close friend, and that may have changed how they view themselves, how they view life, how they view their connection with the world. And I feel like they're the Chariot person, so they may have lost this person about 7 years ago, because we see 7, the Chariot is the 7th major arcana. So this loss, whatever it was, it could have been an acceptance, it could have been a person, it could have been a life and death situation. They lost something. It could have been their health, it could have been a dream, a goal. They lost something that was so important to them, and ever since then it changed how they view life, how they view themselves, how they view relationships. They may be very, whenever they're in a new relationship, they cling to that person and hope that this time it's different. This person is going to stay. This is going to be the person who sees and understands them. And it doesn't work out, because this person fell in love with the facade. They fell in love with the person who is the most popular in the group, the person who's always telling jokes, the person who's always laughing. They fell in love with that. They didn't fall in love with the reality. They fell in love with the dream. And so when this person opens up and, is it raining? my gosh, I think it just started raining. I love that. I love when it just starts raining out of nowhere. That's so lovely, especially when I'm doing a reading. I wish you guys could hear it, but it's drizzling, I think. But where was I? Can you hear it? Oh, that's so nice. Anyway, and so, where was I? Where was I? I always do this. I lose my train of thought like it's... Yeah. So people fall in love with the idea of your future spouse, and then when they're hit with the reality, not only is this person, maybe this person is struggling mentally, or they have some kind of mental health issues. It's not just that, like, they may, but they also may not. They could, once they reveal themselves to be a three-dimensional person with feelings of their own, thoughts of their own, this other person draws back, because it's a you're not what I expected to be situation, when this person is just expressing their own reality, their own humanity. And with you, it may take a while for your person to really open up to you, because they've been so hurt in the past. As we see with the Three of Swords, they've not just been hurt romantically. It feels for them like every time they try something new, it backfires. Every time they open their heart, it backfires. And with you, they wonder if it's going to be the same situation, and then it turns out not to be. It turns out to be this really prosperous thing, this thing that's going to give them so much of happiness, so much of brightness, that's going to be really cause for celebration. And that's really beautiful for both of you, obviously for both of you, because I feel like for you as well, you may have also been hurt a lot in relationships in the past, whether that's friendship, whether that's romantic, whatever these relationships are. You may have just felt like, maybe I should just give up. And now I'm just noticing that the Queen of Cups and the Chariot are facing each other. And so it's like you've gone through these experiences, these pains, these heartbreaks, in order to better see each other for who you are, kind of, in order to, or when you meet each other, it's like finally meeting your other half. It's like finally meeting someone who imperfectly rather, resembles you, through which you can see yourself. You meet someone and you see, and in their eyes you see your heart, and in your eyes they see their heart. They just see the world. There's a song in my head, Last was of a Shooting Star by Mitski, but what's that line? Through your eyes I was looking at mine, or something like that. Now I can only think of the line after that. Did you know, the Liberty Bell line? Give me a second. Yeah, and you'd say you love me and look in my eyes, but I know through mine you were looking in yours. And so when she says it, it's very sad. It's a painful line, because you're realizing that the person who loved you never loved you. They just loved how much you love them. But with you, it's different, because you're going to see yourself in this person, and your person is going to see themselves in you, and not in a self-conceited, I only love myself way, but in that way that when you love someone, or rather that the beloved and the lover are the same, reflections of each other. You fall in love with someone for how much they remind you of yourself, for how much of you they are, even in their differences. And when you two meet, it's like as different as you are, as different as your experiences are, you both are like, how do I say this, fragmented pieces of the same mirror, fitting together in your own perfectly imperfect way, reflecting each other, seeing yourselves in each other, and loving each other for it, in a way. And just it's just going to be this beautiful relationship that's going to be, yeah, it might be difficult to overcome a lot of the pain of the past, and that's a given, but it's also from the very beginning going to ignite a lot of how do I say this, a lot of hope for the future for you two, a lot of hope for love. You're going to say, you know, thank goodness I never gave up on love, because if you had given up, if either of you had given up, you never would have met each other, you never would have aligned in such a way to meet each other in this way. And that's really beautiful. Okay, let me pull more cards just so we can have more insight into this person, their zodiac sign, who they are. Well, not who they are, it's never a definite with who's. The zodiac sign of my group 2's future spouse. Five of Swords, Aquarius. Okay, Five of Swords, my group 2's, the zodiac sign of my group 2's future spouse, please. Nine of Pentacles, the zodiac sign of my group 2's future spouse, please. Judgment does not align with the zodiac sign. Yeah, there's no astrological placement that aligns with Judgment. So let me just pull more cards. Anything else extra about my group 2's future spouse, please? Anything else about my group 2's future spouse, please? Okay, so Five of Swords, we're looking at Aquarius, Libra. Nine of Pentacles, we're looking at Taurus, Virgo. With Judgment, there's no astrological placement associated with Judgment as far as I remember. If I am wrong, I will correct myself in the description box or in the comments, and feel free to correct me as well. But as far as I know, there's no astrological placement or zodiac sign attached to Judgment. But okay, so we have Libra, Aquarius, more likely Aquarius, and we have Virgo, Taurus, and no astrological placement. So it's as if to say that it's not so important the signs, the looks, or anything, because then again, that's all surface level, and with your person, they've tried really hard to be seen as beyond the surface by the people they love and who love them. And so in your connection, I could tell you, yes, your person looks like this and has these placements, but at the end of the day, a lot of that is probably just going to be distraction, because that's not what is important with your future spouse. Your future spouse finds joy and excitement in just being themselves with you. And if I sit here and tell you, oh, your future spouse has the zodiac placement, and then you're going to think, oh, but all men of this placement or all people of this placement are like that, you're going to make that generalization, and that's going to distract or detract rather from the feelings that your future spouse wants to alight in you. They want you to see them for who they are, not somebody who has all of these traits attached to them, who is like this because of this kind of generalization, or like that because of that generalization. They want you to see them for who they are, love them for who they are, and that's what you're also being guided to. You're being guided to to take them as a whole, take them in their entirety, not someone who is made up of all of their parts. They're more than just their physical appearance. They're more than just what they bring to the table. They're more than just their zodiac placements. They're more than just their birth chart. They're more than all of these things. And yes, you may also believe that, but there's also inherent generalizations that we all make without thinking or realizing. So yeah, so don't place so much of importance on all of these things. Don't place so much of importance on synastry or birth charts or physical appearances or types, all of those things, because at the end of the day, that's not what is important when it comes to the relationship that the two of you share. But as for the rest of the cards, we have the Hanged Man, getting stronger in oneself after a lot of deliberating and delaying in your life. Seven of Pentacles, work frustrations, hard work needing to be done either at work or a situation in life. Six of Pentacles, raise in money or salary. And we even saw the similar energy with the Chariot, where your person is moving onwards, moving upwards. So they may have moved abroad to another city for work or for study. They're really working hard on themselves, on bettering their education, their financial position. They're putting a lot of effort into their current stage of life, and that's really commendable. They're very focused on this at the moment. Very, very focused. At 12, we see Hangman is the 12th card and has a 12. That's also the only red card in this spread. I think it's the only reddish card that came out in this whole thing. So they may have like brown skin, red hair. Yeah, they may have red hair. What else? 5, 9, 20. They may be 20. I doubt that they'll be 5, 9, 12, 7, or 6. So they may be 20. You may be 20. If you're younger than that, you may meet each other in your 20s or when you're 20. Even in your 30s, because I'm thinking 32. Or they could be younger than you, like 20, 21, 22, and you could be a bit older. That's, I think, a healthy age gap, depending on how much older, obviously. 5, 9, 5, 7. They could have a lot of siblings. They are right now working really hard on reaching their goals, whether that's monetary goals or academic goals. Very committed to it. A lot of purple, a lot of crystals. They may collect crystals. They may be a bit spiritual, esoteric, or interested in esoteric knowledge. 5 of Swords, also we're looking at losses. Again, that energy of loss. They could have lost someone very important or lost something very important to them when they were really young, and that really dictates a lot of the actions that they take, a lot of what they do, a lot of who they are, whether or not they actively realize it. And again, my candle went out. What is going on? Even at the end of the first video, the candle went out. So sick of these candles. I need to get new ones. Where was I? If anything, with this Judgment card, because it has this image of a crane, I would also say very strong air energy. They may be a bit airheaded as well. Like I said, very energetic, airy, very bubbly, but that kind of is the facade that they put up because they don't really want people to know who they are. They don't think it's important unless you're close friends, a close lover, for you to know that much about them or to get that close to them. 5, 9, 7, 6, 12, 20. What else about them? Also with this, because you see like red and brown, so they may dye their hair a certain color if they're like a redhead, or they have light hair, or whatever color it is they may dye it. It may not be their natural hair. What else? I just heard the word samsara, so they may be Hindu or Buddhist. believe in reincarnation, that kind of thing. What else? I think that's it. Also, with the raising money being 6, it's making me think 6 figures. So they either currently make 6 figures or they're on the way to making 6 figures, and when the 2 of you meet, they'll be like very in line with that kind of income. What else? I can't think of anything else. So I think that this is where I will close your reading, my group 2. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for trusting me to be a reader. If you would like to book a reading with me or you would like to leave me a tip, you can find the links to do so in the description box below. And while you're there, feel free to check out my social media and my Tumblr and Twitter at Tarot with Love. Alright, bye bye. Hello, my group 3. If you are here, it means you've chosen this 3rd letter, this beautiful blue paper letter. Let's read your letter before I pull your tarot cards. Okay, group 3, and I just addressed them all to the groups because I wrote them super early in the day and I didn't want to get them mixed up or confused. Group 3. To look back at a past version of you and realize how far we've both come is a blessing. This once in a lifetime love, that's what I meant to write. This once in a lifetime love and all that it has birthed, it has been a blessing. I cannot put into words how grateful I am to have had you by my side, building our legacy together. I never could have done this without you. I never could have fought and persisted. I love you forever. Don't give up! Exclamation mark. Okay, that's very sweet. And I also made a note of just the energy that I was getting when I wrote the letter, when I channeled your letter. And I wrote assured, kindly, reassuring, and wise. And the song that I channeled was Unforgettable by 1 O'Clock. And so with your future spouse, well, your future spouse is someone who, I get the word cheerleader, like they're always cheering you on. They're your biggest supporter. If you say you have an idea for something, they're going to get away to help you actualize it. They're going to push you to follow your dreams. And I feel like it's the same with you. And that's how you treat them. And together you've built this empire, you've built this legacy, you've built something that's going to outlive both of your names. And this could be anything. It could be a clothing empire, a makeup empire, it could be something in business, it could be this amazing brand, it could be a family. This legacy that you've built together is this beautiful family that you've both worked hard to not just be able to support, but to give this amazing life. But let me pull tarot cards for you guys before I get into this more. And I usually shuffle and pull ahead of time, but today I'm just shuffling and pulling live. Tell me about my group 3's future spouse, please. Okay. King of Wands, man over 25, green eyes, blonde to red hair, restless, outspoken, ambitious. 2 of Cups. My group 3's future spouse, please. 7 of Cups. Please, future spouse, please. The Magician. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the King of Wands, 2 of Cups, 7 of Cups, the Magician, Page of Pentacles, and 2 of Pentacles. Okay, So this is also my first deck with like keywords on it. I never really wanted a deck with keywords before, just because I felt like it would mess with the message I was channeling. And when I got this deck, I didn't realize that it had keywords on it in this way. So it was a very pleasant surprise, and I'm very glad I got it because it's such a sweet deck. But anyway, let's read your keywords. We have the King of Wands. Let's do this one moment. King of Wands, man over 25 years, green eyes, blonde to red hair, restless, outspoken, ambitious. Two of Cups, peace of mind, joining of two people. Seven of Cups, all that glitters is not gold. Look beyond the clouds, money improvements. The Magician, surprises. Element of surprise, good or bad. Page of Pentacles, young woman to 25 years, student, male or female. Two of Pentacles, money, confusion, juggling two situations or ideas around. So I think that the King of Wands aligns very well with the energy I was getting of your future spouse while I was channeling your letter. So rather than that's who your future spouse is currently, this King of Wands person who is so successful and is this leader, I feel like that's who your future spouse is building themselves up into. That yes, they have a lot of these qualities in them. They're ambitious, they're assured of themselves, they have a vision and they're working towards it, but they're not yet that King of Wands person, but they will be. And because even in your letter, your future spouse talks about how they couldn't have done this without you, they couldn't have come so far without you. And so I'm hearing missing puzzle piece, and I'm hearing the song, you're my, I don't wanna, you're my missing piece, I don't wanna, oh my gosh. And I know this is an indie artist, so let me hope I can find the song. Give me a moment. Oh my gosh, as I'm looking up the lyric, the you're my missing piece, I see that one of the suggestions was puzzle piece by NCT Dream. And that's so funny to me because when I was looking at the 27, I'm a very big NCT 1 to 7 fan, so inherently I'm going to see 27 and immediately think 1 to 7. And when I see this wands, I also feel 1 to 7. And can you see, it's like that missing piece, that this person has what it takes to get them halfway there, and you bring in what it takes to get them the whole way, to get them over the finish line, and vice versa. You are in you have the image of what you could be, and what this person brings is the actualization of it, and that's what you bring to them as well. They have this dream of being a millionaire, they have this dream of being a writer, they have this dream of being someone else, and you come into their life and now it's not a dream anymore. And the same goes for you. This person makes it possible for you to become the version of yourself that you have in your mind. And that's what you do to each other. You uplift each other. You, again, it's this Two of Cups energy, this meeting of two people, this soulmate energy. You unite. You unite in this way that it's not just about love. And yes, it is love, because the kind of work you two do together can only come from deeply trusting and loving each other, from deeply trusting and loving another person in such a fundamental way. And it's really bothering me, this indie song that's stuck in my head. Let me just, It's not an indie song. Oh my god, it's not an indie song. It's Nothing Without You by Tanner Rao. Oh my gosh. So the songs, it's Unforgettable by One Ok Rock. That's what I channeled with Writing a Letter. Then Puzzle Piece by NCT Dream. And then Nothing Without You by Tanner Rao. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad. I don't really listen to the song often. It's a song that's in my... Sorry, it's a song that's in my Sasuke playlist. So the only time I really listen to it is if it comes on shuffle or if I listen to my Sasuke playlist. So yeah, yes. So where was I? But it's like the two of you really just uplift each other. You fulfill, how do I say this, because I don't want it to be like without each other you would be nothing, but because that's not the case, but in a way it is. And it's like, because I'm seeing that 27 and 127 and the NCT Dream song came through, it's like with how some K-pop groups or how some K-pop idols use the K-pop industry to break into the industry and allow them to do what they wanted. And it's not just K-pop idols, a lot of celebrities do this, like Rihanna becoming a famous singer so she can pursue makeup, or with even Ariana doing her whole thing and now pursuing makeup. All of these things, it's you follow one route, the easier route, or maybe not the easier route, but you follow the best route that's going to get you to the ideal outcome. And for the two of you, it's as if once you're combined, but I think that this is why I was bringing the example of K-pop groups first. It's because with them in particular, or you could even take One Direction as an example, it's because at first maybe they don't have what it takes to get into this industry on their own, and so they come together as a group in order to have more of an impact, in order to grow your skills, to become a better team leader, to become better at working in a team, to look to others for guidance, to build up your craft in this really supported environment, or even just a competitive environment, and you see others improving, so you push yourself to improve. And it's kind of like that with you and your future spouse. It's not really competitive, but you become mirrors for each other in this way. With the Two of Cups, when we look at any traditional art, like traditional tarot art, you see that they're looking at each other, very deeply at each other. And this is you and your future spouse. You're recognizing your soulmate, and you're recognizing that this person is your gateway to the life you've always dreamt of, and they're recognizing the same. And it's not like you're using each other, not at all. You're choosing to go down this route together, to uplift each other, to have this experience together, because you recognize. Now I'm thinking it's like power couple. It's like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Maybe not on that level, but who knows what the two of you could accomplish. It's better together. It's like you realize that you're better together than separated, because on your own you're two successful people, or you're two people with a dream, but together as a team, unmatched, absolutely unmatched. And that's the kind of relationship you're going to have with your future spouse. Always uplifting each other, always pushing each other to do better, to be better, to actualize your dreams, to bring your dreams into reality, to chase your dreams, to chase your vision, to go after what your heart is asking you to go after. And in that way, creating this legacy, this thing that is going to be so much bigger than you, to create this thing that is going to be just unforgettable. It's going to be something that, how do I say this, that only the two of you could create, that is so uniquely you and your future spouse, that could never be separated from you, your name and your efforts. And that's amazing. And it took me a very long-winded message, long-winded route to get to this point. And I feel like it's going to be the same for you too, that it's going to be hard work and it's not going to be overnight. You're going to have to put in the effort. Again, I'm thinking about Beyonce. Like, she didn't become Beyonce overnight. You know, she became Beyonce because she put in the hard work, she put in the effort, she honed her craft, she showed people what it takes to be a performer, she showed people who a performer is, she put in the work, 110% of the work. She created her own, she built herself up from the ground. She kind of created the new idea of what a superstar is. She is in every way one of the last major superstars, and that's not something that comes with ease. That's not something that just happens. That takes work. It takes skill and inherent talent, but it also takes effort. And you know she's putting in the work. You know that she built herself up in that way because you know how much time she spent practicing. You know, back in the old days of when she wasn't Beyonce, how much like she was promoting. And it's going to be the same with you and your future spouse. That if you want to build this legacy together, it's going to be a lot of hard work. And I feel like that's a lot of hard work that the two of you are really committed to putting in. And if you just stay on that path, if you just stay committed to it, even if it's hard, even if it's difficult, but you say, we have this dream that we want to actualize, we have this vision of our future that we want to be a reality, we're tired of living in fantasy, we want this house, we want our name to be out there, we want, and together you're going to make that want into a reality. And with the Magician, we're seeing a lot of surprises, good and bad surprises, but it's a lot of good surprises. It's a very, well, all cards have their positive and negative intonations. They're all as positive as they are negative. There's balance in the tarot in that way. And with the Magician, it's like this person could be standing right in front of you right now and you wouldn't even know, because you're so focused on your path that you don't even see this person as being someone who you could consider as a potential love interest, let alone a future spouse. I'm hearing wake up call, like you're going to get a wake up call that all that you've wanted, all that you've asked for has been right in front of your eyes the whole time. And it's understandable that you would miss them because of how much you're juggling at the moment, how busy you are, how much you're working on. And it also could just be that now is not the time for the two of you to be together, and that's why you haven't realized that this person is right in front of you, because even if you realized, you wouldn't know what to do with them or know what to do with this, because at the moment you're so focused on making your dream a reality. If God came to you in a dream and said that person is your future spouse, your soulmate, you would say, that's great, I'm very busy, so why do I need to know this? Okay, so yeah, 227. What else? Oh, student, male or female, you may have met this person while you were studying. If you're currently studying or you're about to start studying in like university or something, or studying wherever, regardless, you could meet this person soon, but just not know it yet, because you're both so not out of alignment right now, but you're following your own paths and you're trying to succeed as individuals. And sure, you'll get to a certain level of success on your own, but you'll come to a point where you've reached this level of success and you want more, and that's when your paths will cross, and it will seem like perfectly ordained, like it was meant to happen, like it had to happen right now, while you both wanted to fulfill more in your dreams, to have more for yourselves. And it's just going to be like everything fell into place, because now that you've met, you can combine your individual successes, your individual businesses, individual endeavors, and create something that's so amazing, so long lasting, so so perfect, not perfect, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, also with the juggling two situations, it could be like the two of you trying to combine two businesses, and that's where I feel like there'll be a slight failure with the both of you going, we can't combine these two things, we need something new. And that's where you kind of give birth to this new idea, this new dream, this new fantasy, this new something. And that's where your legacy really comes from, this empire really comes from. Whatever it is that the two of you are going towards, striving towards, that's where it comes from. This combining of two different ideas, two entities, two beliefs, and creating something, one thing that is just beautiful and uniquely the two of you. Okay. Oh, and I'm also noticing your 127. So angel number 127, you may want to start listening to NCT 127. You may find like messages in their music. What music? What song? Maybe The Rainy Night. I'm not sure. You never know where you could find messages for yourself. And I'm thinking of Sit Down, but I feel like I always channel Sit Down because it's such a song that like tells you to really just assert yourself and not let people walk all over you. But yeah, angel number 127. What does angel number 127 mean? You could also meet this person in January the 27th. Oh my gosh, angel number 127 is all about manifesting your dreams into reality. And I feel like I knew that because it's a bit of an angel number for me, because like I said, I'm a very big fan of NCT 127. But yeah, it's about manifesting your dreams into reality. And so that's what the two of you are doing. When you're together, you're manifesting your dreams into reality, and that's amazing. Okay, let me pull more cards to really get more insight into who this person is, or some more things about them. Okay, the zodiac sign of my group 3's future spouse, please. 7 of Swords. Future spouse, please. Anything else about my group 3's future spouse, please? Eight of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Anything else about my group 3's future spouse, please? Lots of twos. So 222, 777, 777. Something else about my Ace of Swords. Okay. So zodiac sign wise, we're looking at. Sorry, I get like so distracted, especially when it starts raining, and now it's so heavy. It started raining while I was doing group 2, and I was like, I was so happy. Where was I? So zodiac sign wise, we're looking at the 7 of Swords, which is Aquarius, 7 of Pentacles, which is Taurus, and then the Star, which is Aquarius. So heavy Aquarius energy could just be an air sign, but heavy Aquarius energy in particular, and Taurus energy. So you could have those placements, they could have those placements. With the 2 Aquariuses coming out, I feel like you have strong Aquarius placements, and so do they. That one Aquarius is them and one Aquarius is you. So maybe they have Aquarius Sun and you have like Aquarius Mercury, that kind of thing. So one has more prominent Aquarius placements than the other, but I feel like you both have strong Aquarius placements. What else? Eight of Pentacles, work, somebody who is very hardworking, and we see that as well with the Taurus energy. And well, yeah, hardworking, somebody who kind of attracts money. Two of Wands, short journey, movement to or near water. Two of Wands, short journey, movement to or near water. Ace of Swords, frustrations, double-edged sword, hollow victory. With the Ace of Swords, we also see like new beginnings, mental clarity. So it's like when you and this person meet, you have this aha moment, like, you're what I've been missing my whole life. You are who is going to make me a success, and I am going to make you a success. And and I'm thinking of Jesse and James from Pokemon, that trouble make it double. What is it? But anyway, you know, like how it's just team. It's just a team. That's what I feel like. The two of you are just this amazing team, and it's not like you're all work related, all career related, like you have no fun in your relationship. No, you do have fun in your relationship. It's a very fun, loving relationship. And like I said earlier, it's that is why you two work so well together, why you're able to build this legacy. Because even if you think about the energy that came through in the letter, it's reassuring, it's kind. He's telling you, they're telling you, don't give up, because they know how well you can do. They know what you can achieve, and they believe in you so much that they believe you can achieve this thing in any lifetime, any way, anytime, anyhow. They believe in you, and so you need to believe in yourself as well, because there is someone, your future self, your future spouse, they're rooting you on through all of this. And oh my gosh, it's just it's so beautiful. But yeah, what else? Short journey. So you may be traveling, or they may be traveling. You may be thinking of moving, and I feel like if you want to move, that's going to be really prosperous for you, especially for your personal success. Because yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands side by side. So moving for work, and if you move, you probably will find like more success in your work. So Ace of Swords, we also have this peacock. So like Eastern Asian energy. I think the peacock is very important to like Indian, and no, I'm not sure about East Asian cultures, but I'm pretty sure the peacock imagery is very important to like Indian society, Indian culture, Indian mythos, Indian religion. So this person could be Indian. What else? I'm trying to think what other East Asian, not just East Asian, sorry, what other Asian countries find importance in the peacock imagery. And I don't want to like assume or presume, rather. Is it Chinese as well? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with the mythos of these countries. I am a bit, but not much really. Should I do a quick Google? Okay, give me a moment. Okay, the peacock is represented in both the Burmese and Sinhalese zodiacs. To the Sinhalese people, the peacock is the third animal of the zodiac of Sri Lanka. So yeah, Sri Lanka, India, China, representing divinity, beauty, power, rank. Oh, they put beauty twice over here. But yeah, so beauty, pride, power, and of course when you think of the peacock, you think of somebody who it's a very regal animal. It's associated with kings. It's like a king of birds, and that's what you and your partner are going to become, this kind of this royalty in whatever sense. It could be something big, like if you're chasing fame on a large scale, or it could be you becoming royalty in a very niche field. You're going to be people who are looked up to and looked towards and used as like like a guide for a lot of people in this community, especially now because I'm looking at the star, and in this deck you can see it's these fireflies going around this light, and that's what the two of you are going to be. And it's also two fireflies there, the two of you chasing stardom, finding stardom, and now leaving this trail to be followed by other people in this field. It's amazing. It's amazing the things that are going to come off your union and the work that you're doing together. And what else? With 777, angel number 127, this person could also just be a very big fan of NCT 127. What else? What else? Or just K-pop in general. Yeah, they could just be a fan of K-pop in general, NCT 127, or boy bands in general. 717, angel number 7, they could have 7 siblings, they could be one of 7 siblings, or just have a lot of siblings, a very big family. Could have S in their name, could have 7 letters in their name, 2 names, could have what else? Okay, I can't think of anything else. Anything else wants to come through? Anything else wants to come through? No. You may though want to look at, actually no, I was going to say you may want to look into the spiritual significance of blue, and you may want to, but when we look at blue we also see creativity, spirituality, those kind of things. And so it's like heavy emphasis on the more that the two of you work together, the more is it a given that your creative passions will be reached. But yeah, I think I'm going to end your reading here, my group 3. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to book a reading with me, or you would like to leave me a tip, you can find the links to do so in the description box below. And while you're there, feel free to check out my social media. I'm on Tarot and Tumblr. I'm on Twitter and Tumblr at Tarot with Love. Alright, bye.